Hey, good morning, May.
Hi, good morning.
How come nobody has joined?
I was wondering if I was in the right place.
uh,
Can you see my screen?
yes.
You see the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are the... So I have made you as the host, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Oh. Surprising.
Maybe they're just running late from a different meeting.
Could be. So maybe we'll wait for a minute or so.
Okay.
Hey, hi, Vancy.
Hello.
For some reason, people are running late today. So we'll, I don't know whether they misread Paul's mail because he will not be there for 2 weeks.
Oh,
Ben,
maybe they thought it was canceled.
no. Ben is also here. We'll wait for Manoj also to join. Hello, Ben. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We'll wait for a few more minutes. I think people are running late from other meeting. Yeah, or maybe it's too early today.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, good morning.
Hey, hi, Manoj. Yeah, good morning. I think we can start now. Can we, Manoj?
I think so, yeah. We have Ben
Okay.
as well, so
Yeah. Before I start, I'll just quickly introduce May. And I mean, of course, she will be telling about herself more. So she'll be the LF representative for the marketing and the PR related stuff. Yeah, go ahead, May.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
My
Yes.
presentation?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Great. So my name is Maymelin Meener, but people call me May for short. I am the Director of Public Relations and Communications at the Linux Foundation. I have been at the Linux Foundation, it will be 7 years in April. So I've worked on several different projects. I've launched several projects, and so I've previously worked on projects focused on IoT, industrial, edge computing, and big data. I've worked with ARPIT for a few years when we launched LF Edge a few years ago. Currently, I work on 3 projects in addition to OPI, enabling LISA in safety applications, Zephyr, which is a real-time operating system, and Open Mainframe, which is open source and Linux on the mainframe. Prior to joining the Linux Foundation, I have almost 20 years of experience in tech PR and communications. A big part of that was public relations for Texas Instruments for a few years. I live in California with my husband and 2 kids and a rescue puppy. So they definitely keep me busy. Here is all my contact information, my email, my Twitter handle, and my LinkedIn if you'd like to connect with me. Any questions about my background or anything for me? Awesome.
Thanks for that intro, May. Welcome.
Yeah, I look forward to working with this team. And so the next slide, we'll just talk through a little bit of the marketing support overview. And so as the PR and comms person, I do have, my background is heavily in public relations, writings, and communications. But as I've worked at the Linux Foundation, marketing has always been a big part of each of the projects. And so I do have a lot of experience doing marketing. And so anything that this project will need, I'm sure I'll be comfortable with. And so in this slide, it just kind of talks through what the marketing and PR manager will help you do, what our goals are, what our objectives are, and then what a marketing plan will consist of. And then knowing that we have a central marketing team, this next slide kind of talks through kind of what my role would be. So on the left here, your foundation would be, OPI, this project, the dedicated marketing resource that would be myself. And then I would be the person who helps kind of manage and collaborate with the central team. So anything that we'll need in terms of, web designs or designing the brand guide, or if we want to do demand gen, you do some promoted posts or PR and social, additional PR and social work, or communications, getting into the LF newsletter, things like that. I will do on your behalf and kind of work with the central team to make sure that they are meeting our needs. So I have met with Sridhar and Paul a few times. And so what I'm hearing is that we've got a few proposed activities already. The first one is updating the OPI website. And I do have some slides that kind of talk through whether or not we want to move from Hugo to WordPress or if we want to stay on Hugo. But that was our number 1. Number 2 would be creating brand guides for the project so that all of the members have something that they can use as they're, creating materials and templates and assets, that we have all the same messaging and the look and feel. Updating the presentation template so that it is uniform and make sure that all of the graphics and the text is all the same. And that will help as we're preparing for speaking opportunities and exhibiting at some of these events that we're looking at this year. And then creating a marketing plan based on our project goals, which is really what I will help lead for this team. Is there anything else that we're thinking about other than these 4 things?
So I just came off medical leave and PTO break, but but I think one thing that in transparency, I actually work on the CCC, the Confidential Computing Consortium as well.
Okay.
And one thing that's helped us a lot is kind of social media. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one area that maybe we might want to spend some time on. I'm not sure how other people feel, but that at least is my opinion. And I think we probably would want to do more, but I think we need to, how do I say, pace ourselves and kind of match our ambitions with the momentum.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe as the year progresses, if things are going well, that would be good. I know one thing that is important is getting speakers to events
Mm-hmm.
to get our message out. So I see the presentation template's good, but I see the social media and maybe some other activities as a way to kind of like popularize that we have people talking on these great topics at these great events.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Might magnify the awareness and maybe magnify the impact that we're trying to have at these events.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and talking of events, we have one that's coming up soon that we would need to start preparing for. Paul presented at last TSC, the Smart NIC Summit.
Mm-hmm.
So we would need to work with TSC. I think there are like 4 volunteers or 4 companies that showed interest in presenting at Smart NIC Summit.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I believe, June 12th through 15th. So that, we can use this new presentation template, maybe starting with that event, if there isn't anything sooner than that. Ben or Sridhar, anything sooner than Smart NIC Summit?
OCP, I think.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. But that's pretty much done, right? I think in terms of.
Yeah, but amplifying is the part, I think she will cover that when we talk about the goals, when she'll be talking about the marketing goals. I think Ben also rightly pointed out, it falls under one of their goals is around the amplifying the messaging that we do, the activities that we do. Yeah, I think the OCP, it's in April, right? The OCP regional.
Yeah, it's a regional summit in April. I think it's in Prague.
It's in Prague, yeah. And when I said done, I think we already had a volunteer who was going to present. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, those things we want to capture and see, and maybe push it in social media and other things. Yeah, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm. And so when you say social media, are you specifically focused on Twitter or LinkedIn or a different? Yeah.
Oh, we have a Twitter account. I think that's where Paul was supposed to include all the accounts in the vault, right? The 1Password. So just to know others also, we have a 1Password team set up for OPI.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a separate vault for marketing section where Paul is the admin for that. And he'll be adding the credentials that he has created for this, all the YouTube. We have a YouTube channel also. We have Twitter, LinkedIn, all this thing. Yeah, Twitter mainly, maybe, yeah.
Okay.
And also from not just from the OPI account, also from the LF account, because the LF has more followers, right? So if we do both from the OPI and the LF account, that would be very helpful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, LinkedIn, sorry, for LinkedIn, I'm telling LF account. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we've already set up a LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, but the advantage of doing both, right? Both from because the number of followers, that's all.
Oh, I see. Promoting OPI through LF LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not an OPI LinkedIn?
We do have OPI also, but it's better to push both from both the places, from the OPI and also from the LF. They will, I think, I forgot his name. Yeah, we just have to send it to him. He will push it from the LF account.
Oh, okay. So are you talking about Noah?
Yeah.
Okay, got
Of course, you know better.
it. Okay, perfect. So Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Hey, one more point, the team I had, I think we discussed last time also with Harris, the demo part. So if you, I think in the last TSC meeting, if you remember, there have been some demo activities done, and we want to amplify that also. Maybe may put it somehow, either a blog or I don't know, could be even just a tweet in the social media. Any suggestions on how do we like market this demos that people are doing?
Mm-hmm. So I think the first step for us has to be our website, because
Ah.
as we're, creating assets, we need to know where to put it, whether it's a quick video showcasing a demo, or if it's a technical blog, we just need to know, are we putting it on Hugo or WordPress? And because all the social media will then point to these assets, right? And so I think the first decision this team has to make is like how we want to move forward with the website.
Yeah.
And so I know that there is some folks want to stay on Hugo, and then others may want to move to WordPress. And so the creative team actually put together a pros and cons list for this team to review. And you can see it here. The one thing that I do want to spike out is that even if we move to WordPress, we can still make one or two of these team members an admin for WordPress. So if there is something that you want to change, you can go in and make updates as you want. You can log in and change graphics, update text, or we could also, fill out the website requests for the, I think they use Asana.
Correct.
The LF team uses Asana. And so we would just have to fill out a ticket, and then they would go and help us and change things. But anything else in terms of like blogs or event listings, as we are, as we have speakers at events and we're promoting it on our website, and, we are doing thought leadership pieces, those are the things that I can do. So I can add those, I can upload those, even if, you are writing the blog post, I can still upload it for you. And so things like that will be fairly easy in WordPress. And if we decide to go to WordPress, we can have them do a quick training for us, like a real-time training, or they can do quick snippet videos that show us how to do something, whether it's creating a landing page or, changing a graphic. They have volunteered to put little videos together that'll show us how to do updates. So I guess I just want to ask this team, what your thoughts are. Do you want to stay on Hugo? Do you want to move to WordPress? What are your concerns? I just think with the SmartNIC Summit coming up, we just have to move fast so that we have all of the assets ready to go for the show, so that we, as we're promoting the show, we're promoting the speakers, folks have somewhere that they can go to learn more information about the project or to get involved.
I'm more for WordPress, since we use it at the Confidential Computing Consortium. That's worked well, but I don't have a strong preference. I think if I were to state a preference, my preference would be to utilize resources that are the most common at the LF
Mhm.
so that it's more easily supportable. And I just don't want to have the, I just worry about the bus scenario, right? If we rely on one person to do everything, and the bus happens, then that would just be bad for this organization.
Mhm.
True. And the Hugo or the GitHub based rendering of web pages works well for the projects where there are multiple contributors to the GitHub website page. If there are like too many contributors and actively contributing to the GitHub page regularly of that WordPress, I mean that website repo, then it works very well. But if there are not too many contributors and adding contents regularly, like daily or maybe weekly, multiple times, there is not much of an advantage with the GitHub-based rendering of websites.
Mhm. Mhm.
See, I could give an example where in eBPF, right, there are too many contributors, like multiple contributors contribute to the website GitHub repo. There it makes sense. So they didn't want to move to WordPress. Whereas the foundation website, where the changes are like maybe once in a month, some of the changes are happening and minimal things are happening, there they retained it to be WordPress based. So it's a kind of a dual approach thing. The contents that are changing too many times or multiple times by multiple people on a GitHub, then it makes sense to retain the GitHub based or move to WordPress if the changes frequency is less and there are not many contributors to the code.
Mhm.
So even the TSC, we are not getting a concrete yes or no, folks. So we have to make a decision. Maybe we can bring it up again in Thursday's call. I think Paul is not there. Maybe if somebody from the team can join the TSC call, and I think both Ben and Mark, you also will be there in the TSC call. Maybe if we can bring up the topic again and get an yes or no, try to get us a yes or no. As May was mentioning, things are coming up and we need to be like making these changes to the website if we want to amplify things.
I think these are two different budgets as well. So to stay on Hugo, but to have LF provide a design, like an updated design, is one cost. But to move everything to WordPress with new designs and new messaging and all that, that will be a different budget. And we'll need to give them a little bit more time to do all of the movement and the creating the framework for the website. So we just need to keep that in mind as well. Any other feedback? Okay. And so let me just put this action. So
yeah, we will bring up in TSC on Thursday and get to the, yeah.
And then Sridhar, what happens next? Is there a vote or what?
Oh, in the TSC depends. If they want to take it to the vote, they will do it. I think I will request to somehow come up with a decision. I think voting would be a easier option. I think, yeah.
Okay.
I will request the TSC chair to add this and see if we can get a quick discussion and try to. And also, I will share the link to this slide so that they can make a decision on this.
Okay. Okay. And so the LF Creative Services, if we do want to migrate to WordPress, she did, the creative director actually sent us a few samples that they really like. And so, if we do decide to go in that way, these are the links that we would look at to see whether or not we want colorful, or we want dark, or if we want, more white space. These are the types of websites that we'll, take a look at, and then we can grab the elements that we really like, or if there's a website that you currently really like, you like the framework, you like the way things are laid out, please send that to me, and then we can keep that on this list as well, so that we know kind of what our thoughts are moving forward, what we like, and what we might want to what styles we may want to steal from other projects or other organizations.
Is there like a
Mhm.
Linux Foundation landing page template in WordPress? Because that could be the easiest to leverage. So the look and feel for all projects is similar. I did click on a few of the projects like Cloud Native, Computing Foundation, LF Networking, and so on. And they have kind of like a simple white background. The less cluttered the landing pages is, the better it is. So that could be a good starting point. Just a thought.
Yeah, so they do have a template that they use, but really the layout is based on what the project wants. And so I can tell you, for example, Open Mainframe Project, we're in the process of updating our website. And we are CNCF. It's funny you call them out, because that's actually one of our favorite websites. And so we have mirrored their homepage for ours. And there are elements from their menu that we really like, where things are like featured posts and videos and stuff. And so we have taken elements of what they have on their website for our website. And so because the LF creative team, updated CNCF, they do already have that framework. And they're just really updating it with Open Mainframe colors and logos and messaging. So in that sense, it is easier, and it won't take as long.
Yeah, instead of starting from scratch with some of these templates, we could leverage.
Yes. I'm going to put that CNCF.
Yeah, I think so. That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, yeah, their website is really good. We stole lots of elements from their websites. Are there any other websites that people favorite? Okay. So moving on, so here are the project goals, and I believe this has been approved by this team, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. So these goals look really good. And so now it's my turn to then put together a marketing plan based on how I would best help you meet these goals. And so on this page, we put together a few marketing goals that are similar to what the project goals are. And so I will be putting elements of this into a marketing plan, including an event strategy. But I wanted to ask you if there was anything specific this team wanted to see in a plan. For example, you called out social media engagement. And so we'll definitely have a few ideas there and a few goals there, but is there anything else that I should make sure is in the plan?
So this is Ben.
Mhm.
Instead of just throwing out 5 ideas at you as a marketer, what I would like to know is, based upon the goals, and knowing that we don't have unlimited time and resources of, other people to jump in and help out with things. Because if we jumped in, started 5 other, let's say content projects, that would probably just dilute us to nothing. Is there anything specific or additional that we could do, like have a weekly blog or
Mhm.
create, a white paper, or I don't know, whatever, something? Is there something particular we could maybe focus on that you think would magnify, amplify the impact of our goals here?
Mhm.
I would love, I'm not putting you on the spot now. I'm kind of putting that as a question in the back of your head
Mhm.
as you're going through this. If you kind of have, for either from you do analytics, or you have from your experience in other projects, if you can say this one or these 2 things are the things that we should probably be considering next when we have the capacity to do it, because that will move the needle towards your missions more effectively. I would love to just kind of know that, kind of like that, I don't know what to call it, extra credit, optional next step kind of thing. Because I think part of where we're at, I feel, is kind of a misdirection. We kind of know we need to kind of go somewhere next, but we don't have the insight to kind of go, what could we do more? What's maybe the next step right after that? And I think some of us would benefit by kind of knowing not just the next step, like all the stuff you could do in your marketing plan, but what would be the step after that
Mhm.
that we might consider getting ourselves mentally ready for.
That was a good question. It's a
Sorry,
lot.
I'm really long-winded right now.
It's okay. So I see this as 2 things. One is we definitely need to raise awareness for the project. Raising awareness for it, and the branding and the thought leadership all encompasses into one, right? And so the first thing that is probably the easiest is to have blogs on our website, blogs that we can amplify on our social channels, ask LF to amplify, make sure that we've got these blogs in the LF newsletter that goes out monthly. And then, there are things that, if it's a certain technical topic, or if it's a, broader trending topic, these are things that I can then take to a media person, a journalist, an editor, or an analyst, and share it with them, so that and see if we can secure an interview for one of you, and then that turns into coverage that we can then amplify again on our social channels, add to our website, and then we've got more awareness of the project. And so things like blogs, doesn't have to be long blogs, or videos, really do that well, because that's something simple and easy that we can just share on our channels, and then share with folks who might be interested in writing about this project. The other thing that I would say is really the event strategy and thought leadership, just making sure that we're positioning this team, the speakers who are going to events and speaking about OPI, just making sure that we are positioning you as thought leaders, and making sure that we are leveraging your presence at the event. So whether it is to, meet, host a meetup, and meet new folks, or new developers, or new vendors, or meeting with media who might be on site, just making sure that we leverage the opportunity for when you're on site and can help spread the message.
Great. And I really like the emphasis on kind of like easier, because I think I want it to be more impact based. If we know we can do a YouTube video with 40 minutes of production versus 4 hours for a white paper, maybe, then that's good. And maybe part of the benefit is having regular posting of content, because that might be a challenge. I've seen that's a challenge in the CCC and other orgs as well, so.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And what happens with videos is, let's say we are doing a demo video, like quick, 20-minute demo video. So we would post that on YouTube, but it could be something that we also feature in a blog post. It doesn't have to be a long blog post, but embedding that video into the blog will help us also get clicks on the website. And so once this person gets there, they do tend to look at what other content we have. So that's why I say it's important for us to really figure out, first of all, what we're going to do with our website, because everything after that will impact, or because everything that will impact everything after that. All the assets that we create, all the videos, anything that we do, it's dependent on the website. And so I think that's why that's the first decision we really have to make.
One nice thing that might be helpful for folks on this, because I always, I'm always surprised how few people think about it, but is kind of maybe a little bit of maybe a slide to kind of talk, and maybe I will not saying complete, but maybe a slide with kind of some marketing chains. What I mean by that is, like, give an example of, hey, if we have a speaker at an event, at minimum, we should, do a Twitter post and put it on our LinkedIn and send out an email to the members to also, thumbs up, like it or whatnot in our social media. And then maybe there's like, well, if we have the time, there maybe is a blog on our website and, one or two other little steps just to kind of talk about, here's all the little things we can do to make one thing have much more amplified impact in the market.
Okay.
So like, if you had like me, I'm picking on that because I think that's an important one, but if there was like one or two examples of like, here's what you could do, and like, here's the minimum that's like within our wheelhouse of control, and then let's say optional stuff in the future when we have more time, if members have the ability to do this, if we have more money in the future, like we can do extra stuff. I think that would be impactful to people to go, here's the next stuff we can do to kind of get more mileage out of all the work we're doing.
Okay. So, but this is something that you see in the marketing plan, right? Just what the different options are.
I think it would be, I think it would be useful in the marketing plan, but more as kind of an example, besides kind of like the, I don't know what to call it, shotgun spray of like kind of all the stuff that you would be doing.
Yeah.
And the chronological timeline and all those kinds of things that you might consider putting in there. I think for some people who are less of a marketing hat, I think it would be really valuable for people to go, now I see the value of marketing. You're going to do these 5 steps or 3 steps or whatever, and it's not just a Twitter post, right? There's these other things, and each one has value of
Okay.
magnifying.
Okay. So maybe more like on the education side.
Yeah, I think it's a little more on the education side, but I think it would be very useful. It might be useful in the outreach, but I think it'll also be much more useful for folks outside of the outreach to kind of understand this is why we're doing this.
Oh,
And then they will get involved. If they understand it, they might, Twitter, thumbs up it or whatnot.
mm-hmm. Okay.
Maybe you want to check sometime in October or November, right? There was a discussion started, and some people took up the responsibility for coming up with a white paper for, I think Arpit requested a kind of an article or a white paper to be put in the LF. Right, LFN has this bunch of white papers, mostly for educating others on what the foundation is, and similar to the LFN white papers, was one white paper from OPI. If I remember, Elad was one of the person who was, I think he started the work or something. We need to check what is the current status of that. Maybe if it's not active, maybe we want to bring it up again and request for contributions, and maybe complete that white paper and put it in LF website similar to the LFN white papers.
Okay, so it was something that was started, but you don't think it was finished?
Yes.
Okay.
So I can check on the status. Maybe Paul would be aware of the status. I think it started in October or November sometime. Yeah, October or November, if I remember correctly. Unfortunately, this Slack, we don't have the history for like more than 90 days, right? Because of the plan.
Mhm.
I'm unable to find it on the Slack because it's been more than 3 months. So,
Oh, yeah.
so I like to, maybe I can reach out to Elad. I remember Elad's name very well. Maybe I can check where are we on that. Does anybody in the call know about the status of that white paper? Maybe Manoj or Ben?
I don't.
I don't, yeah, I've been kind of, I've been out of it since December,
Oh.
so I don't know where we're at.
Okay. Maybe either Jan or Paul, one of these two should be. Yeah, maybe I'll check and reach out. It was started. Yeah, I will check.
Okay,
But these are very, very good inputs. Thanks.
awesome. Are there any other questions or feedback? Okay,
Yeah.
if not, I guess we can give 15 minutes back.
Hey, thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for joining the call. Maybe we can create something like a voting or ordering. We do that in some of the projects where people choose their preference, right? So for the websites, maybe we can create that like a voting kind of a thing where we can request all the marketing committee members to share their preferences. I mean, which they like more. They're
Mhm.
ordering, then we can kind of pick one of them after that.
I
Yeah,
think,
I think that's would be very helpful because we didn't get enough participation today. And
Yeah.
unless somebody was objecting to the vote, like I want to talk about it, then that's great. Then they should say, then we should send the information over email unless they insist upon a meeting. Which is fine, but then they have to show up.
Correct.
yeah. I agree. That's a good suggestion, Sridhar. Agree with Ben. I think there is a way to create a poll on Slack. I will have to look up the way to do it.
Oh,
But if I find anything, I will send it on our Slack channel.
thanks, Manoj. Yeah. Okay.
So in that regard, one of the things is the template has been open for a while. So while Paul is out and this is MWC week, I'm not there. So I have some free time. I thought I would volunteer to work on it. If anybody is interested, please let me know and I can set up a Zoom call to brainstorm a bit. This is our OPI presentation template.
This has been, I'd love to connect with you. This week's a little bit tight, but Friday I can probably make it, or next week is a little easier.
Sure, we can, if Friday works, great. Otherwise, we can find some time next week as well. So again, it's not quite a poll, but I'll send my coordinates on the Slack channel. And if you can let me know what time works, or if it's easier to check your calendar since we have a few minutes. Not that I'm trying to.
Oh, I can check my calendar.
Yeah.
I'm on the East Coast, so from noon on, noon to 4:30, I'm available.
Okay, how about would noon be okay? I'm eating
Yeah.
into your lunchtime, but
No, that's fine.
that's 9 a.m. I'm on West Coast, so
Yeah, that would be perfect.
so that's better. Than what I'll do is on the Slack, I'll say, hey, Ben and I are going to meet at 9 a.m. Pacific. If anybody would like to join, please do so, and I'll forward the Zoom info.
Perfect.
Yes, that would be perfect, Manoj. Thank you.
Thank you.
I got a quick question, guys. The SmartNIC Summit, we have it listed here as one of the events. If I remember right, what Paul is trying to set up is a half-day session prior to the event or in conjunction, like a co-event. Do we know what day that falls on?
Yeah, so what we were told was, you are right, this is like a pre-meeting, and that was the proposal made by SmartNIC Summit. So the actual conference is June 13th through 15th, and they are considering like a pre-conference day on June 12th. I have that action to close. I discussed with Paul on Friday, but let me close on that with the organizers. For your information, June 12th would be Monday. So we're trying to do like a half day dedicated to OPI on June 12th, but let me confirm that.
Okay. Great.
Sure.
So will it be that you have this half-day colo in addition to speakers at the summit, or is it all in this half-day colo?
That would be, we haven't figured that out yet,
Oh, okay.
how we would spread it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the initial thinking was we do those whatever 4 presentation at this colo half day,
Mhm.
but yeah, that was the initial thought. And then we could do during the presentation, we could do like a keynote with, summarizing this event or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, what might be useful is to take this list that we have here in the comments and put it on our Confluence page or on our wiki, where we can have that populated by members of the project with details, right? Like OCP event, I know we have a paper submitted. Okay, you already have it. Haha, there you go.
So
Is this
this is
posted?
Sridhar's work. He put
Okay?
everything into this spreadsheet.
This is Paul's work. Paul's
Oh,
work.
Paul's work. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Paul
we,
and Jan Fisher and Paul, I think, if I remember correctly.
okay. So we have it here. So let's see.
Row 28.
No, yeah, we had to like reorder kind of a thing.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there's a couple OCP summits. The one
20
we're looking at is
26.
probably 26.
Row 26, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
Let me highlight these so we know. So this one.
So we should reverse the sorting, May, from the date so that the most recent
Yeah. And can you share the link to the spreadsheet in the chat?
Yes,
Not
it's
sure where to
also
find
it's also in the presentation, and I can share the presentation.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, if you share the presentation, that'll work.
Okay. But yeah, this looks really good. It's super helpful to see it laid out like this.
So I was just talking with Jan on the side, and he said nobody started the white paper as far as he remembers. They had talked about it, but they haven't started it. There's there's no draft of it.
So then I think what happened is I think we were talking about it in like December, early December, and then holidays hit, and I know for myself I had personal issues, so I things fell apart on my side. So I'm guessing, it's just been a really busy, last 2 months.
Yeah, and Jan isn't isn't participating as actively anymore. So I think he would have had that last, kickoff session when we talked about it, and that's it. And I haven't heard about it since January either. So I don't think it's been discussed further.
Okay. I'll just confirm with Ilad once. Sorry. So I don't know, maybe
for
we
sure.
started, or I don't know, maybe, yeah. Let me check.
Let's be hopeful.
Yeah. No, just that if you started, then maybe we can continue, or else we can do a fresh start.
Mhm.
Good. Very good.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. See you
Thank
all
you.
next.
Thanks. Bye, folks.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye, everyone. Have a great
Bye.
day.